Hey gang, what's going on? What's going on, chat? All right, trading FOMC, this is gonna be fun. Rate decision is announced in about 5 minutes, 4 minutes, and then the craziness begins. You guys up for this wild ride? So, question for you guys in the chat: is anyone gonna be trading this, or are you guys just gonna watch me fall flat on my face? Are you here for entertainment purposes, or are you here to actually trade? No, I'm not going to be ridiculous. I'm actually just going to watch the news, see how it goes, let the news release candle settle. And if it hits any clear, obvious levels after it's settled, after it's calmed down, then I'm definitely not opposed to taking a trade. But I'm not here to be a degen. I just know it's a high volume event. Should be lots of volatility, should be good. Nice clean rejection for VWAP so far, but I mean, obviously with 3 minutes till news, that doesn't mean anything at all. Quick reminder, since we are close to the news release happening, if you actually have any positions open, probably should close them out. Make sure you don't have any limit orders set, but a lot of prop firms actually don't allow trading 1 minute before, 2 minutes before, depending on your prop firm and your rules, but it's usually before, during, and after either 1 or 2 minutes. So close out, not smart to trade it anyway, unless you just feel like throwing money onto a gambling table. That's pretty much what it would be. Because as you guys know, it's just gonna whipsaw in both directions before actually finding its way. What's your guys' prediction? You think the news is gonna pump the market, dump it? Obviously the first minute right at news release is just going to be crazy, both directions. But what do you guys think? Up or down? I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that the initial move, at least a couple minutes afterwards, maybe 5 minutes afterwards, is going to be down, perhaps. Like people who are taking profits from the rate decision already being built in. But then I think it'll find support and continue up long term, because I think that the long term trend is still up. So if I was to guess, that would be my thought. I'm going to leave the left side on NQ. I'm going to make the right side gold because I'm curious how that goes. Ali, Aliv, do you think gold is going up, or you think NQ is going up, or both? I'm curious which one you were talking about in your comment. All right, it's out. It's not as wild as I was expecting, honestly. Interesting. There it is. Maybe a little delayed reaction there. jumping around. Let's let this settle and see if a true direction can be found. Gold is dumping. Whoa, check that out. My goodness. Gold was much more of a smooth dump too. Like, it doesn't whipsaw all around like NQ. That was interesting. I've actually never watched gold during a big news release like that. So, good to know. Well, it retraced the news candle on NQ and kind of bounced right at the bottom. It'd be interesting to see if it continues up. And now gold just completely is blasting the opposite way. Oh man. That's why you let the news candles settle a little bit. Goodness. How many accounts are going to get blown today? Well, maybe my thought was correct. A little move down. Or we still could be in liquidity grab mode. This just kind of flipping all over the place right now. Your account won't be blown because you're out. That's smart. That's the way to go. Yeah, I'm just watching for now. Watching for things to settle a little bit. And if it starts to maybe show signs of retracing the big old move from the last couple days, wouldn't be opposed to shorting. But it's still super like wicky up and down for me. I'm going to throw an anchored VWAP on that news candle. Kind of track that a little bit. If this thing is going to go down and kind of retrace the last 3 days, there's a long way to go. I mean, even if it goes to yesterday's point of control, that's down at 26.38, 200 points. Earlier today, this afternoon, it did come down to that London low and kind of grabbed that liquidity. So I don't think that's a stopping point anymore. I don't think that's a support level. I think at least Asia low. And then if it's going to continue quite a ways down, what's up, Waffles? I'm really surprised by this price action. I feel like normally there's a crazy whipsaw in both directions and then it just moves. Maybe since it came out as expected, people are kind of trying to figure out what to do with their positions. The real move hasn't happened yet. I don't know. This is interesting. Yeah, waiting for the speech. That's kind of what I was wondering too. See what he says. Gosh, I would love to see this thing start going down and short this thing. There's so much room down to retrace and still remain bullish. Like, so many levels down. Waffles, the tie color theory, has that been back tested on Powell? If he's wearing a red tie, do we take shorts? I don't even know if he wears fun ties. He seems like a normal black tie kind of guy. Or something boring, you know, like gray. Waffles, I feel like that would actually be hard to backtest. It's not like you can just go into TradingView and scroll back, 6 months or whatever. You'd have to have your TradingView up plus your like CNN whatever history. Okay. You're going to make an AI bot to do it. There you go. You're smarter than I am. I wouldn't be able to figure that out. I'm having to hold my patience here. I definitely can feel myself like just wanting to short this thing because I want the market to retrace. It's just a story I've created in my head, you know? Like, I want to be bullish on the market. Obviously it is, but I want it to retrace so that I can feel better about taking longs. Because taking longs up here is scary. So retrace to a good support level, fill that gap, whatever, and then bounce, and I can start taking longs again. So that is why I want to short this thing. Goodness. I was excited about having FOMC like give us some sort of direction. What in the world is this? If I short it, you'll follow. I don't know if I can handle that pressure. It is below VWAP. I mean, it's below all the levels that I would be watching for a short. I think the hard part is the unexpectedness of whatever Powell's gonna say, you know? If I was to take a short just to kind of play around with the risk reward, I would probably put my stop loss up above the news wick candle. And then there is so much downside. Like I said, even if it goes down to yesterday's point of control and support area, that's 200 points. 4-to-1 risk to reward, not too bad. Let's see. What time is he talking? $1:30, 2:30 Eastern. Someone from the Fed is talking right now. I don't have it on my financial juice, but like on the calendar. But there's a bunch of red news alerts popping up. If I took it here and put it at VWAP, that's not too bad. Gold's all over the place. Look at all these wicks on the 5-minute. That would have been hard to trade right now. Choppy, choppy. It is hovering below that London low. It doesn't matter a whole lot at this point, but to me, it's kind of in no man's land. The next level down would be the low of day, 26,164. All right, I guess we're waiting for Powell. Hey, Aaron, welcome. So today is a little different. I'm doing an afternoon because of FOMC. But normally in the morning, I start at 9:15 Eastern and go for hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on what the market looks like. So I did that this morning and then hopped on this afternoon. I don't normally do afternoons though. So come join us in the morning. Well, still chopping around that level. Coming back up to VWAP. I'm kind of watching the announcements on Financial Juice. I don't see anything huge. Is anyone going to actually watch or listen to Powell? I'm not a fan of actually listening to him talk. I just like getting the Cliff Notes version. Oh, okay. Waffles, you're starting your data testing. Set up your spreadsheet. One column for color of tie, one column for like were they hawkish or what was their tone. I can see it now. You're setting up your study. Got to make your hypothesis. He says the same thing each time. Honestly, yeah. Maybe that's why I don't enjoy listening to him. Because, I mean, half of it I don't understand. I don't care. I'm not interested in it. I just want to know which way is the market going to go. And yeah, it seems like he's just very vague and says the same thing. So just give me the Cliff Notes version and I'll figure out, I'll watch the market, see which way it goes. Bongo trades, I use for London, it's 3 a.m. Eastern is when it starts. Moving back down. It's definitely holding below VWAP for now. It's also consolidating right there. So could just blast through if it wanted to. What is ES doing? Well, at least ES and NQ look the same. Tracking the same. Check out that barcode action. That's good times right there. I don't think I've ever seen this on an FOMC news release in terms of like this slow, just not much change. I know there's usually more volatility when Powell starts speaking, but I don't think I've seen the news release be this slow. Red tie long for 230. That's what you're thinking? Okay, here's another backtest theory that you guys should come up with. When does the market ever actually go up when Powell speaks? Like when Powell talks, what percentage of the time does it go up? What's the percentage of the time that does it go down? I would guess more down than up, right? Like, what do you guys think? I don't even know if the color of his tie matters. It's just going to go down when he talks. When he throws a joke, it's long. When does he throw a joke? Was that your point? That he doesn't, so it's going to go down? Oh my gosh. Hey G-Man, you are not missing a thing. So the news release was a nothing burger. That's the 5-minute candle right there. Looking at the 1 minute, that's it. That was the level of excitement that FOMC gave us. So I guess we're just waiting for Powell at this point. Not exciting. Come on, give me a reason to short this thing. The risk to reward is so good. Because if it's going to get heavy, there's a long way to go. I want it. I guess Powell probably hasn't taken the stage yet, huh? We don't know what color his tie is yet. Oh, what if you're colorblind? That's a bummer. Then I guess you can't trade. You can't use the tie color for confluence. You're going to have to come up with some other confluence. Verisat, he has a purple tie? That's what I was saying earlier. I feel like Powell would be like a boring tie person. Well, I guess Dakota has figured out other confluences. All right, starting in about 2 minutes. If he's on time. Powell's usually on time, right? It's Trump that's always late. Let's see what he says. All right, Stockfather, have a good one. Starting to get a little move up, but still stuck in that choppy range. Nothing to get excited about yet. Man, still rejecting VWAP every time it comes up. I think that might be another reason that I really just want to short this thing. Let's get to the good stuff. What is he going to say? First thing that popped up on Financial Juice, nothing. Inflation has not changed since September meeting. I would guess a lot of the stuff that he says in his speech is going to be the same. Has not changed. He's definitely consistent. Yeah. I'm not even listening to the speech. I can just guess. All right. Getting a little move up. Let's see if we actually get a nice trend here. We got outside of that chop range. Just kind of reading the highlights as they come up. Nothing super exciting right now. Although it is moving up. So the top of the news candle wick is right here. So let's see what happens there. If we get some continuation or if it's just kind of retracing the news candle and then it's going to drop. Who knows? That's true. Red and purple is a mix of the two, so I guess that means chop. What in the world? What did he say? What did he say? All right, that was Asia low. I'm gonna keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Let's see if it comes down to point of control. I'm not trying to long this thing. I'm not like trying to catch a falling knife. But I'm interested to see what levels get taken out. Let's go. Joe O'Leary, you almost went long. Well, I almost went short when it was down here, but I would have gotten stopped out when it moved up before going down. So either way, it was just trying to blow everyone's accounts. Well, it came to Asia low, did not bounce. 2637 would be the next logical area that I could see us drop into. This is funny. Darn it. I missed it. I still didn't even find out what he said. Oh, December cut is not for sure. Far from it. Strongly differing views at the meeting about how to proceed. I guess that was it. Maybe that big old pump over the last 3 days, they were pricing in rate cuts in December also. And when he said that might not happen, people are like, what? But you said, I thought we were going to get another rate cut. You lied. All right, ES is sitting at previous day low, but it ain't bouncing. There she goes. Oh, man. He said something about a recession. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not listening to it. Just catching the highlights on Financial Juice. And that's the red popped up about December cuts. Not for sure. That's what's happening. Got a little bit of a high volume node right here. I don't see this thing bouncing until, I mean, there's a long way to go. Trump is apologetic? I doubt it. When is that man ever apologetic? All right, coming down to yesterday's point of control. ES is already far below all of yesterday's levels. Really, I mean, if this thing is going to stay heavy, might as well fill that gap, right? We have previous day low. So that's actually an interesting spot. Previous day low is right at the anchored VWAP from CPI. Like it's at the exact same spot. Right at 25, like 940. See if it makes it down there. Watch that reaction. That is interesting. Don't want to like try to catch a falling knife because I've definitely learned my lesson the hard way with that. But I like that level. My goodness. This is fun to watch. Down, down, down. So that last move, that big drop, that 5-minute candle was what? 189.5-minute candle. Woo! That was a pretty nice bounce and then retest of value area high from yesterday and rejection. So let's see if we get some continuation. All right, Waffles, have a good one. These are big moves, you guys. So we're getting a little bit of consolidation action here. I don't feel like this is a big enough level to like totally reverse from here. Might just be a consolidation to continue lower. That is yesterday's point of control though, so decent support there. Just not sure I believe it's actually going to reverse from there. The chop has continued. We got that one big move when he said that December cuts aren't guaranteed. And then it kind of stopped after that. How long will I be streaming? Honestly, probably not much longer. Wasn't the price action reaction I was kind of expecting and hoping for. I had the idea of going short, like that was my hope. I wanted to take a short. I was considering it around this area right here. I'm glad I didn't though, because I probably would have put my stop loss somewhere above VWAP and I would have gotten stopped out here. So I had the right idea on direction, but didn't want to chase it when that first drop happened, because this is the 1 minute chart. That was a 1 minute candle. It basically all happened in one move. So if I had chased it, it would have only gone another, I don't know, I guess that's 100 points, but still. So we'll see. This right here is the news candle anchored VWAP. Let's see if it rejects from there. Might be willing to take a short. ES is also sitting at yesterday's point of control, so that's an interesting level to short. Yeah, G-Man, as expected, 4%. So 0.25% cut. Check out the 1 second chart. Oh my gosh. It's probably going to hurt my brain. Did it all happen in 1 second? Oh, I can't even do that. I have to get the upgraded version, I guess. Well, that was an area that I was possibly watching for a short because that was the anchored VWAP from the news candle. So if the downtrend was going to continue, that's where I would have wanted to do it. But so far, it's continuing up. That's interesting. This level right here where it bounced, I mean, I had it marked off, but that would not have been where I expected it to bottom. So I still don't even believe this. I feel like there still could be more downside. Which is why I'm not anxious to take a trade right now because I don't have a great read on it. It could retrace this big old candle from when Powell said that he's not necessarily going to cut rates in December. It could retrace that and come back down. There is some confluence for possibly shorting in that area too, because that's where VWAP is, point of controls in this general area. So there's a couple of spots where it could come up here before shorting again. We'll see. Staying patient. I can imagine the 1 second chart, like if you're actually trading on it, or even the 30 second. I know some people who trade on different time intervals in the seconds. That's wild. Recently, I've had to stop using the 1 minute chart and stay on 5 minute because 1 minute was causing anxiety for me, and I was getting flip-flopped in all kinds of directions. So I can't even imagine what a 1 second chart would do to me. All right, it's coming up towards that VWAP area. Also, previous day high, that would be a fair value gap fill on that candle. $26,234. Let's see what happens in this area. Yep, all the way back up. That's why I was kind of curious to see what happened on the retrace of that candle. Wonder if the downtrend is going to continue. It didn't make it all the way up there. All right, making its way back up. 235-ish. It's kind of what I'm watching for, if it makes it up there. Still just chopping around in this middle zone. Going to be annoying if it just reverses without actually going up to the level I was watching. So close. Like 12 points away. 9. Depending on where it was. 235 is what I was watching for. What would, if I did short here, stop loss up above that wick? Depending on where it heads, that's not a bad risk to reward. Just would have to be a small position. See if it goes up a little further. New all-time highs incoming, like today, you think? I don't know about that. I don't know if I believe that. Maybe if Powell said something different, like, yes, I will be cutting rates in December or something like that. But he didn't seem super positive today, at least from what I saw in the Cliff Notes version. Still chopping. All right, I'm trying a short. 172.5 is where I entered. See if it makes it back down to the range low or point of control area. Setting my profit target down at the range low, or the low of the day so far. Looks like it's headed that way. Gonna put my stop loss at break even. Yeah, this is super bouncy and random. That's why I immediately moved to break even. Come back up. Yup. My goodness. Glad I moved to break even. All right, let's see if it does end up coming back up to VWAP. 232-ish. ES got a nice little bounce off of previous day low. Making its way up there. Are you going to reject again before actually coming up to that level? Look at the wicks on the 5-minute chart on ES. Still think shorts are the way to go. But buyers are also eating this thing back up. There's no continuation down. What do you guys think? Is this the bottom down here? Yesterday's point of control? And there's a higher low and we're going to continue up? Or are we just retracing this big drop? Or we're going to head lower? That's an answer too. We're just chopping. Not going anywhere. I was just thinking that same thing, Verisat, and that's the reason I'm not taking a short from here and waiting for it to get closer to VWAP, because this really is a big range. Like, even if I took the short here, I would want to give it room. That's a 44-point stop loss. But even just to go back to the range low, that's 145 points. So there's a lot to be made here. I want to see it go up a little bit higher. And then really, if it's going to retrace the entire news candle, it could go all the way up to like 260s. So you would need to give the stop loss quite a bit of room. It's still holding above the New York, or not the New York, but the news candle anchored VWAP. That's what's kind of holding it up right now. Look at the wicks on ES. Yeah, I'm kind of torn because the fact that it's consolidating above the news anchored VWAP to me is bullish. It could be ready for a move higher, but it's also consolidating between the VWAPs from this session and previous day high, and like there's lots of reasons to short too. Would have rather have it come up a little bit higher before shorting. Somewhere in the 230s. Never got that high. Yeah, gotta wait to see which way it breaks, but also watch for fake breakouts too. Like this right here, that looked like it was going down. Came right back up. That's smart. Waiting for the 5-minute closure probably saves you from a lot of fake outs. ES is holding above yesterday's value area low and previous day low. Could be more upside if you look at it that way. Nope. Well, price action for me isn't super clean. Like, would have wanted to short it, never came up to the 230s. Now at this point, I would have to chase it. And now is that a fake out and it's going to pump? Kind of looks like it might be. I'm going to take a stab at a long. Another fake out to the downside. Also, ES is holding those lows. Small position, 26,152 is where I'm going to put my stop. $191. Maybe back up to point of control or a VWAP. Let's see. That news candle full retracement would be back up at like 26,274. So it got outside of the chop pretty good. Let's see how this candle closes. If it kind of wicks out and then goes back into the chop, that's not a good sign. It did come right back up to VWAP and wicked away from there. It's kind of the level I was watching for a short, but the fact that it was holding the news candle, was thinking we would get some more upside. Second time's a charm. Is it going to break their VWAP this time? Just looking for it to retrace the news candle, which is also right at the session point of control. So that's why I have my target there. It just has to get through VWAP. That's the main obstacle right now. Hope it goes to all-time highs. I don't care about all-time highs. I'm getting out at 272. I don't want to hold it to all-time highs. This is super choppy. Putting my stop loss at break even because I don't trust it. Still hasn't broken through VWAP and it's stuck right there. So we shall see. Let's go. Let's go. Alrighty. The chop continues. I'm out, you guys. This is not fun to trade. I was thinking FOMC would give us a little more of a clear trend, but I guess the chop continues. So I'm going to be done trading today. I'll be back tomorrow live for the New York session. I would love to see you guys. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you can see when I'm live, and then join in my Discord too, so you can get updates on when I'm streaming. Have a good one, you guys. Have a good afternoon. Take care.